Now this area below me here now is the area now known as the Bogside. Up in the distance behind the graveyard is the area known as the Cregan. This we consider the Catholic area of the city. Now in this area down here, on the day of the 30th of January 1972, there was a very large civil rights march attended by over 15,000 people. They were marching for one reason and one reason only. It was an anti-internment march, putting people in prison without evidence. That's why they were protesting that day. The march had been banned by the government, then it had been banned from going into the city centre, but the march went ahead nonetheless. And it ended up here in front of this white gable wall here called Free Derry Corner. As the meeting was progressing down here, some young men broke away the junction of that road over there, started to throw stones and rocks at the British Army. There was nothing unusual about that. That was a regular daily occurrence in this location. It had been going on for years. Believe it or not, it was that regular an occurrence they used to refer to it as recreational rioting. What happened next is in dispute. The British Army claimed they were fired at first. What happened after that is not in dispute. It is well documented in all the tribunals. In the next 20-minute period, the British Army mounted an arrest operation against the people who were protesting and demonstrating, and they fired 108 live bullets. As a result of that, 13 people lay dead or dying. One died some months later, and 14 others were seriously wounded. And that day has become internationally known as Bloody Sunday. If you look there in the distance, you see the multicoloured mural of the Dove of Peace. Can you all see that? About 100 metres this side of the Dove of Peace is where most of the shootings and woundings occurred, in a very, very confined area. There used to be high-rise flats there called the Rossville Street flats that have since been demolished. Now after that we had a tribunal of inquiry called the Widgery Tribunal under Lord Chief Justice Widgery. There the British Army claimed they fired only at gunmen, nail bombers and petrol bombers. Now the relatives of the people who were killed and those who were wounded said they were not nail bombers, petrol bombers or gunmen, and therein lies the problem. And this tribunal has been deemed to be a whitewash, not by me but by the British government themselves, because quite simply nobody believed it. And what we've now had, for the first time ever in British legal history, has been a second inquiry into Bloody Sunday called the Savile Inquiry, under Lord Chief Justice Savile, who together with the Canadian judge and an Australian judge has sat down in the Guildhall in the city for over 4 years, went over all the sad events of that day, finishing up towards the end of 2004. And believe it or not, this report was made public on the 15th of June 2010, just over 3 years ago, at long, long last. In a very choreographed day on the 15th of June, at precisely 3:30, the British Prime Minister, Mr. David Cameron, got up in the House of Commons in London to address the nation. This speech was carried worldwide on all the major news channels. He said that what happened on the day of Bloody Sunday was unjustified and unjustifiable. He said it was wrong, and he apologised in a very statesmanlike manner for what happened on that day. Now that was a huge weight lifted for the combined children of this city, to have that wrong righted even after so many years. It was, in my opinion, a very good day for Derry, a very good day for Ireland, and also a very good day for Ridley, make no mistake about that. The very next morning then, here in our city, the Protestant Bishop of the city, Dr. Good, together with the Presbyterian minister and the Methodist minister, went down here to the Bogside where the memorial is to the people who died that day, to meet the Catholic relatives. And Dr. Good made a wonderful presentation, what we call the Hands Across the Divide. Have you seen the two statues at the bridge? That represents Catholic and Protestant reconciliation. So a model of Father's hand by Dr. Good to the Catholic relatives. Now symbolism in our city does not get much better than that. The following Friday then in our local paper, the Derry Journal, a lady called Mrs. McGuigan, whose husband was the last person to be shot dead on the day of Bloody Sunday, and who has never spoken publicly from that day to this about the situation, said that she was very satisfied with the outcome of the Savile Inquiry. And she said that if Mr. Cameron was in this city, she would invite him to her house for a cup of tea. I could not sum it up any better myself, but it's time to move on. It's amazing that you wait 30 odd years for a bus to come along, then two come along at the one time. Since then, the city's had some more good fortune in the fact that we have been honoured with the title of UK City of Culture for last year, 2013, which was the 400th anniversary of the build of these fantastic walls we're standing on top of here today. And our tourism figures went through the roof. And we've been asked to consolidate that this year, folks, so please, please spread the word that Derry is open for business. On that basis, I've promoted you all straight away to ambassadorial status.